The movie opens in an antique shop filled with peculiar items including a deep-sea diving suit, ornate knives, and an ancient hominid skull. A man named Petty Shellbaum enters, his clothes stained with blood. He clutches a strange toy monkey and appears visibly anxious. When the shopkeeper emerges, he questions Petty about the blood, who nervously assures him it isn't his own. Petty suddenly changes the subject and desperately begs the shopkeeper to take the damn thing off his hands. He explains he bought the doll thinking it would be a fun toy for his children, but it's been nothing but trouble. The shopkeeper points to a sign stating no refunds on children's toys, but Petty insists it isn't a toy at all and warns that for the shopkeeper's own safety, he shouldn't call it that. Upon examining the monkey, the shopkeeper notices its left drumstick is raised in the air. Petty warns with deadly seriousness that the drumstick should never come down, because if it does, they're both going straight to hell. Intrigued yet skeptical, the shopkeeper agrees to take the doll. Without warning, the monkey begins beating its drum. Petty freezes in terror. Meanwhile, unnoticed, a rat gnaws through a rope in the corner of the shop. When nothing happens immediately, the shopkeeper dismisses Petty's concerns. However, the severed rope triggers the diving suit mechanism, causing a harpoon to fire through the shopkeeper's abdomen. As he gasps in shock, the monkey's drumstick finally drops. The harpoon violently retracts into the suit, dragging the shopkeeper's internal organs along with it, killing him instantly. The story shifts to brothers Bill and Hal, sons of Captain Petty Shellbaum, who are sorting through their deceased father's belongings. They discover a wooden box labeled Organ Grinder's Monkey. Inside is the same monkey toy, along with a tag reading, "If you want to see something amazing, turn the key." Bill, being 3 minutes older than his twin, claims ownership of the box contents and turns the key. The monkey grins before moving its drumstick once, then stops. Assuming it's broken, Bill hands it back to Hal. Among their father's things, they also find some obscene cards. The next day, their nanny takes them out for lunch at a Japanese restaurant. Unknown to them, the monkey has somehow made its way into their car. During the meal, while the nanny flirts with the chef, the monkey starts banging its drum, a sound only Hal seems able to hear. When the drumming ends, the chef tosses a knife that accidentally slashes the nanny's throat. Her head falls onto the sizzling grill, killing her instantly. At the funeral, the brothers wonder how they managed to reattach their nanny's head. Their mother tells them not to think about it. A rookie priest awkwardly suggests that according to God, accidents don't truly exist, everything happens as part of some divine plan. After the service, their mother buys them ice cream and shares a dark philosophy that everyone will eventually die, some peacefully, others violently. Despite the funeral, they dance together at home, creating one of the happiest memories in Hal's young life. The next day at school, Hal faces cruel bullying. Girls mock him, saying his father left because he and his brother are ugly, and humiliate him by pulling down his pants in front of everyone. When he returns home, Hal finds the monkey staring at him in his room. His mother denies putting it there, saying she hasn't entered his room since finding the stiff sock. That night, as Bill sleeps, Hal approaches the monkey and quietly asks if it caused the nanny's death. Bill wakes and mocks Hal, asking if he's in love with the doll. He launches into a series of insults, calling Hal a freak who will always be inferior. He throws the toy at Hal and forces him to say humiliating things before continuing his verbal abuse. The bullying extends to school, where students and even Bill throw objects at Hal. When he returns home dejected, his mother greets him warmly but can't approach because she's cooking. Hal goes directly to his room where the monkey awaits. Completely frustrated, Hal wonders if the monkey is making his brother act so cruelly. In a moment of anger, he wishes his brother would die and turns the monkey's key. The toy's drumsticks begin to move. That evening, when Bill returns home, he calls out to their mother but notices she isn't responding. She suddenly collapses, suffering a fatal aneurysm. At her funeral, Hal realizes the truth about the monkey. When its key is turned, the drumsticks move, and someone dies randomly. No requests considered, no explanations given. The inscription on the box was accurate. It truly is just like life itself. Bill refuses to accept their mother's death, desperately begging her to wake up, convinced it must be some cruel joke. As reality sinks in, he breaks down into inconsolable sobs. After the wake, Uncle Chip tells Hal that he and Aunt Ida will do their best for him, though it might not be enough. That night, determined to end the curse, Hal takes an axe and chops off the monkey's arm. To his horror, blood gushes from the severed limb. He continues hacking until the monkey is in pieces, then stuffs the remains into a garbage bag. Uncle Chip and Aunt Ida adopt the brothers and move them to Maine. Bill refuses to remove his funeral suit, believing it prevents more deaths. One night, as Hal goes to the kitchen for a snack, Bill spots something disturbing through the window. The monkey has somehow returned completely intact. Hal insists he destroyed it and suggests it's cursed, possibly responsible for their nanny's death. Bill wonders if whoever turns the key is the one who will die. Ignoring Hal's warnings, he turns the key again. The next day, Uncle Chip dies in a freak accident while hunting, trampled by 67 horses. To protect others, they decide to lock the monkey away, which seems to work for many years. 25 years later, Aunt Ida wakes to strange noises in the night. Armed with a gun, She investigates but finds nothing. When trying to return upstairs, the stairs collapse. She falls, with hooks digging into her face. After pulling them free, she notices a strong gas smell. When she rushes toward the kitchen, her face catches fire. In agony, she drives a stake through her own face, ending her suffering. Now an adult, Hal has isolated himself completely, fearing the monkey will harm anyone close to him. He works at a supermarket and sees his son Pete only once annually. During his yearly visit with Pete, Hal learns from his ex-wife's new partner Ted, a famous writer, that Ted is adopting Pete, making this their last week together. Meanwhile, a young man named Ricky finds the monkey at Aunt Ida's estate sale. When he touches it, he has a vision of his absent father. His mother dismissively suggests that if he wants to find his father, he should check a betting house or brothel. At a motel, Pete asks Hal about his family. Hal lies, claiming he was an only child like Pete. That night, Hal has a nightmare where the monkey traps and tears him to pieces. He wakes to a phone call from Bill, whom he hasn't heard from in 9 years. Bill informs him that Aunt Ida has died in a bizarre accident and someone needs to handle her belongings. While they talk, a heater falls into the motel pool, electrocuting a woman who dives in. Disturbed by these events, Hal decides to take Pete to Aunt Ida's house, though reluctantly. Pete is surprised when Barbara, a real estate agent, reveals that Hal has a brother, catching him in a lie. Inside the house, a shotgun hanging on the wall accidentally fires, killing Barbara instantly. The police arrive and instruct Hal to remain in town during the investigation. While searching for the monkey, Hal receives a call from Bill telling him to wait at a motel. Hal realizes Bill lives nearby and finds his number in the phone book. We then see Bill, still wearing his funeral suit after all these years. He explains that after their mother's death, he understood the terrible truth. Hal had turned the key, causing her death. His hatred never diminished. After they disposed of the monkey years ago, Bill secretly searched for it but found only the key remained. Eventually, the monkey returned to him through a fortune cookie message, promising truth if he turned the key. Bill turns the key again, causing Hal's boss to choke to death on his cigar. Ricky visits Bill, demanding the monkey back as it reminds him of his father. Bill refuses, suggesting that if Pete turned the key, it might cause his own death. At the hotel, Hal calls Bill, pleading with him to stop turning the key as too many innocent people have died. Suddenly Ricky appears at Hal's door disguised as a police officer. He takes Hal and Pete hostage at gunpoint, forcing them to Bill's house to retrieve the monkey. Pete is instructed to enter the house, talk to his uncle, and bring back the monkey. Hal warns him not to turn the key under any circumstances. Inside, Pete carefully avoids several deadly traps. He finds Bill praying to the monkey, who lies that it belonged to their grandfather and needs fixing. Despite his father's warnings, Pete turns the key. The monkey activates, causing a wasp nest outside to lower. Ricky accidentally fires at the nest, causing the wasps to swarm and attack him. They crawl into his mouth until he suffocates, then burst through his face. Hal escapes the car to find his son. Inside, Bill furiously orders Pete to turn the key again. When the monkey doesn't respond, he forces Pete to hit the drum. The monkey raises its drumstick and locks eyes with Bill before striking. A strange sound echoes, and the city begins to collapse. A plane explodes mid-air, sending passengers plummeting toward the ground. When Hal confronts his brother, he demands to know why Bill caused so many deaths. Bill finally confesses he wanted Hal to pay for their mother's death. Hal apologizes for turning the key years ago and reminds Bill of their mother's wisdom. They shouldn't destroy the people around them. Bill, moved by this recognition, asks for forgiveness. The brothers begin to reconcile, with Bill suggesting a road trip together. Hal smiles and agrees, but just then, the monkey's drumstick falls again. A cannon fires, blowing Bill's head clean off. The film concludes with Hal and Pete driving through the devastated town. Everything around them is destroyed. Bill's actions with the monkey have wiped out half their community. Pete understands that life follows an inevitable pattern. We're born, we die, and sooner or later our time comes. Hal asks Pete what they should do now. Pete, still in shock, asks what they'll do with the monkey. Hal says they need to keep an eye on it, stay alert, and never let their guard down. As they walk away, they pass a mysterious ghost rider. Hal acknowledges him with a nod before the rider continues on. Hal then suggests they go dancing, something his grandmother taught them to do during difficult times. Pete agrees it sounds like a good idea. Just then, a school bus full of celebrating students passes by, but a speeding car cuts across their path, decapitating several students in an instant, a grim reminder that death is always waiting just around the corner.